Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's uh, Mike's Tips and Tricks. This is actually the 138th session of Mike's Tips and Tricks. Tonight, we're going to be focusing on the GS Lifestyle to Envio ClubSwan transition. Right, we're going to go through some explanations. Some people are a little bit confused. Some persons have not been plugged in for some time. They don't know what's going on. Some people have been plugged in for some time, and there's still certain things that they're not too clear on. And I would say that I myself have some things to clarify. But what I do know, what I am aware of, what has been shared, is what I would help to do. The importance of the session tonight is to bring things into perspective, so that we are all on the same page. So there's some persons who may be on the call for the very first time, who may not know what's going on, or may be reviewing the recording, as the case may be, and they may want to know what is this all about. Well, Mike's Tips and Tricks is a session that is held every Friday night, or most Friday evenings as much as possible, at Atlantic Standard Time. Now, Atlantic Standard Time for half of the year is equal to Eastern Standard Time, and for the latter part of the year, in the fall, it is actually, it maintains its time, but Eastern Standard Time falls back by 1 hour. So right now it's at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, but it is still at 8 p.m. Atlantic Time, right? Who am I, and what is this GS Caribbean community all about? The GS Caribbean community has a mission to help the average person in the region and the world at large to increase and preserve wealth through digital asset accumulation, to help people be educated. In fact, that's why you would say the motto for this tips and tricks is education and empowerment. We want to give people some education on digital assets. They are actually the category as a whole, the world at large, and specifically within a particular system, right, where we can use tools to manage and preserve our wealth, and also to earn by helping others to do the same. I am, in my past, I've been qualified as an MBA. I've been a project manager for like 25 years, but more recently, I am actually helping people and using some of my skills to help train people in a home-based business community that can help people to use this technology in this new digital era to help improve and preserve wealth. And of course, the community itself is built up of persons, not necessarily in my organization, but we are from within the region and the world at large to help others to do the same, basically, right? So the agenda for tonight. First, we want to take a quick look at this system that can help people to preserve and build their wealth, which is GSPartners. It's going to be very brief. At least I'm just going to point people to where they can find more information about GSPartners if they are interested in learning more, right? And then we're going to be diving into the transition between GS Lifestyle and ClubSwan, a little bit of an explanation of the background and where we are going, right? Then we're going to take a look at some of the latest things that's happening in the community, some of the incentives and promotions that are out there, right? And then we're going to have an open mic session for questions, for comments, for information that people may want to raise and find out more about, okay? Of course, during the entire webinar, I would just be going through until the open mic session. I'm not going to pause to answer questions when I'm giving my explanation. You will have ample time to present that during the open mic session, but you can still feel free to type your questions in the chat as we are proceeding, all right? So, So I want to start off by taking a quick look at what the context of the business that is providing all of these services. Now, many people, of course, and especially in this crazy time over the past 2-3 years, people are looking to, of course, find different ways to build an income. We all need income to pay our bills and to survive. Some people are looking to build an income or to have a business or to work in a business. But they may have lost their jobs or get cut pay, or if not, at least the cost of living is rising to a point where they're looking for a way that they can earn even more to get another stream of income. Or people may also be building their assets or they don't have assets and they want to find a way to build assets consistently when many things are taking their expenses and so on. So basically, we have a product that can help provide both business income and asset income, all right? But of course, before going into that, we just want to give a quick disclaimer that, again, information providing in this webinar is basically for awareness of products and services provided by GSPartners. Any illustrations of earnings potential are examples of what is possible. Past performance is not an indication of future performance. And nothing in this presentation is considered as financial advice. I'm just giving information, right? To help you understand and be aware of what's happening. We have a full disclosure, and if you're watching the video, or if you're free to take a screenshot here if you wish, to get more information about what GSPartners is, where they're registered, what type of services they are, what is the relationship with fiat currency. And again, just to let you know that that there's no guarantee for any decisions made. You're going into a mechanic's shop doesn't necessarily make you a mechanic, right? Any success is based on application of ideas, techniques, knowledge, skills, and so on, and everybody is a little different. So that's a quick disclaimer. Now that being said, let's move forward, right? If you want to get more information about GSPartners, I encourage persons to go to goldstandardwebinar.com. When you go to that website, you can learn for yourself more about GSPartners, more about the challenges, what is the business all about, what are the solutions being provided to whatever challenges there may be, and how you can earn an income passively, all right? When you go to the goldstandardwebinar.com, you'll basically be taken to a page that looks similar to this, where you have the choice to either attend a live presentation. You would see a calendar when you would see which presentations you can attend during the week, or you can watch a replay of one of the recent presentations. So it is good for you to be aware of what GSPartners is all about, or if you want to let someone else know about GSPartners, you can simply refer them to look at the goldstandardwebinar.com page. Not only can they watch the presentation, but they can also go through the discovery tour at the top. Each one of these is a short, like 1 or 2 minute video that would give like a trailer. You know, you have movie trailers. Well, you have business trailers to what GSPartners and Lydian World is all about, right? Now, when you go to watch a replay of the presentation, there will be a pop-up right there in the screen that will walk you through one of the different products we may have. One of the main products that we have right now are metaverse certificates, right? And in fact, I can go a little bit more detail into that. These metaverse certificates are basically, a certificate is like a key that gives you access to different streams of income. The main one being from a portfolio trading. We have a business partner that will be spoken about in the video that you're going to look at, right? And with the business partner, once we can budget for the amounts you see there, from $500 US going all the way to 300,000, it is possible for you to earn passive income, right? Which can, it's been no exact figures here, and again, this is a disclaimer, right? Because nobody can predict the market. However, based on the experience and trading history of the market, you can earn more than 300% over the next 18 months, or an average of at least an average of 4.15% weekly, right? You're gonna get some bonuses when you activate these accounts, but again, all of these will be covered in the presentation replay at goldstandardwebinar.com, okay? So if you want to get started after you watch the video, you can register for a GSPartners account for free. There's no cost to register one, right? and you simply need to talk to your introducing member to get a free account, right? And then you can fund your account with crypto, and then you can activate your GSPartners membership. That's right, you have a membership as well that you can also earn by helping others to do the same. Okay, now once you do that, you can go ahead to your platform and exchange some of your crypto to get a metaverse certificate of your choice, right? And once you load it, you can activate those earning potential, and you can even compound or withdraw those earnings that you get. How are you going to withdraw those earnings? Well, there's a way to do it, And that is part of the topic of this session tonight, right? And in fact, it's a really, really powerful way to withdraw funds from a platform, okay? And then of course you can also tell others, and you can earn even, that's another stream of income. As I said, you can use the platform to build a business, or you can use the platform to build and grow your assets passively, or you can do both. It's totally up to you. And one of the neat things about our platform is when you withdraw, I've heard of people on other platforms, they're making a withdrawal and they would have to wait like wait a week, wait 2 weeks. Sometimes people are waiting for 2 months, 3 months, and they cannot withdraw, right? They see funds on their platform, but basically it's there, but they cannot withdraw it. With the platform that we have, once you make the withdrawal, boom, it goes into your wallet immediately, right? Which is really a powerful thing, and for regulatory purposes, that is very important. And before moving forward, just want to give a little video to bring into perspective some of what we're going to be talking about tonight.
Introducing the most flexible crypto card in the world. 5 traditional currency accounts, including USD, GPB, EUR, CNY, and JPY. Currency exchange rates better than high street banks. Manage all your crypto and traditional currencies with one simple platform. Add funds to your account via bank transfer, credit and debit card, or crypto proceeds. Spend or withdraw your funds anywhere credit and debit cards are accepted. Exclusive plastic, aluminum, stainless steel, gold-plated, and solid gold cards available. 24/7 global support in multi-languages. 24/7 professional concierge services. Up to 40% discounts on hotel and travel. Instant rewards from high street retailers. Fast delivery to over 100 countries. Order your GSLifestyle card today.
The GSLifestyle card is actually launched since 2021. And what we're going to be doing tonight is to be looking at the services provided by the GSLifestyle, and to find out a little bit more about what is available and what is to come. Let's go into this update, right? This GSLifestyle, which you would have seen the trailer of a short while ago. We are talking about a transition to ClubSwan. There are some persons in the community who have obtained this GSLifestyle card for different purposes, and they may not have been plugged in, and they don't know what's going on. And they're seeing these emails, seeing some changes in the screen, and they don't understand what is happening. So that is the purpose of the session this evening. We're going to go through some explanations as to what's going on with GSLifestyle, ClubSwan. What's the difference? Is it the same company? Is this something called GS Pro? What is this all about? Let's go, right? Before going into that, I want to give a brief history of the GSLifestyle product, okay? So upon the launch of GSPartners on the 1st of December 2020, the chairman of the board had mentioned a bunch of initiatives that will be implemented over a 5-year period. The goal over the 5-year period is actually to become number 1. One of the products that was mentioned was the acquisition and launch of a digital bank, fully regulated in fiat and crypto, and that will be able to issue debit cards to account holders. At this time, of course, 2020, persons around the world, different countries, would have had challenges. While there's a growth of different companies paying out in crypto, giving payments in crypto, and many people using crypto, there was a challenge for people to get crypto or even to spend crypto, to convert crypto back to cash. So what could be done? There were some debit cards available, but they were only limited to certain countries. It was not available in the Caribbean. It's not available in New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, and other places. So what happens? Well, guess what? On the 2nd of February 2021, GSPartners had launched the GSLifestyle product, right? And by the 9th of April, it was available in 169 countries, right? I actually sat down and counted line by line, country by country, to validate this. It is in fact true, okay? So the GSLifestyle product, the GS, of course, is a brand of GSPartners. It's part of the Gold Standard Group, right? And to provide this, it was actually done through a company known as ClubSwan, okay? And we're going to get into that. In August of 2022, just a couple of months ago, in a community update call, the chairman of the board, Mr. Joseph Hyde, had stated that the digital bank was actually coming soon. Remember, this was stated all the way back in 2020, 1st of December at launch, right? And that we were going to be having updated cards that would have more benefits. And the updated cards will be called, at the time it was stated, GSL 2.0. GSLifestyle 2.0. So everybody's saying, okay, where's the GSLifestyle? Is it a new thing? What is going on, right? Then next thing you know, the following month, NVO, who was the third party through whom GSPartners had started a contract with to provide the GSLifestyle cards, they sent out a communication to all GSLifestyle account holders, basically stating that the contract between GSPartners and NVO ClubSwan had ended, and that all existing customers would now be transitioned to ClubSwan customers. So, okay, now during this period, from April up until August, and even into September, many persons on the call would know that that I, along with the host of this room, which is Mr. Marlon Thorne, had been having weekly, sometimes multiple times a week, we've been having presentations giving people updates on what's happening with GSLifestyle, how to use the product, what are the features and benefits and so on, to let the community be aware of what is going on. And we had actually informed the community that GSLifestyle was actually provided by a third party known as NVO. So that information is not really supposed to be new. We have been saying it for more than a year, all right? Now, what is different though, and this is what we're going to be finding out, right? On the 16th of September, there was an edition of Mike's Tips and Tricks on the 130th session, right? We actually gave an update focusing on that communication from NVO, where they stated that the contract had ended. And persons can still find this recap at number 130, Tips and Tricks, on the GS Caribbean Community YouTube channel, right? You can go to the GSLifestyle playlist and you can scroll down until you see the number 130. You'll also find it in the Tips and Tricks playlist as well, right? And we're just going to give a quick recap of what was shared during that session, okay? Who is NVO? For people who do not know, NVO is a company that is headquartered in London. It's an FCA-regulated electronic money issuer, and they provide financial services to multiple currencies, to members of concierge and lifestyle services, including Ori Lifestyle and ClubSwan programs. What do Ori Lifestyle give? Well, actually, they give some prestigious cards, including solid gold cards. Well, ClubSwan, they provide concierge services to people, to members of the public, right? And they are both powered by MasterCard payment cards, right? MasterCard payment cards that are issued by NVO are accepted around the globe, okay? So they issue the MasterCard, right? That is what NVO does. They're basically like a MasterCard agent, and they are fully regulated, right? And we would have gone through that in our presentation. The president of NVO ClubSwan is Mr. Christopher Scanlon, or Chris, as he is known to those who work with him. Okay, so he was looking for a membership program for people to be able to access multiple services, which include the access to a debit card. All right, so the two of the main services that were actually started by NVO were Ori Lifestyle, which would be to the elite. This would be to the 1% of the 1%ers, right? Those who could get a solid gold lifestyle. You cannot just go there and join, you have to be invited. And also you have ClubSwan, which was open for people around the world that they can register at any time. Now the services for ClubSwan, for persons who wanted to get a debit card for ClubSwan, right? And not just the debit card. Remember, when people access these services, and this is to help set the expectations and help people to understand what it is these services provide. The debit card is one of the services that is provided by ClubSwan. Okay, you would see here there's basically 4 categories, and this is as it is right now. There's a starter for $129 to get the card, and then there's a monthly subscription of $35. And with that, you get an account with $500,000 account limit. Okay, 500,000 US dollars. You have the Premier, which is $499, and then after that, it's $65 a month, and that's for $1 million account limit. You have the VIP, which is $11.95 for the card, and then you have a monthly subscription of $95. You get a $2 million account limit, and then of course you have an unlimited $24.95 to join to get the card, and also you get a monthly subscription of $125. Now, this is the company that Mr. Joseph Haidt and the Gold Standard Group had contracted to provide the cards or the services to the GSPartners community. Under that contract, you will notice that several of these prices were reduced, right? So this is a summary of the prices that were provided by ClubSwan. You have 500,000, 1 million, 2 million, and unlimited, basically 4 different accounts. And you would see there the card prices and the subscriptions. The starter and the premier were both plastic cards. The VIP was an aluminum card, and the chairman, which is unlimited, was actually a stainless steel. Now we have the GSLifestyle, right? This is basically under the contract with ClubSwan. The members of the GSPartners community were able to get the same services basically for a lesser price. You will notice, for example, that there's a basic. In fact, you would find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 categories, whereas with ClubSwan there were 4. So there were 2 additional categories in there. One of them was for starter. This was for people who basically wanted to get access to convert crypto to fiat. Basically wanted to have a place where they could access those accounts, right? And have basically like a bank account or access to an account where they can transfer funds from bank to bank, person to person, and also, to get crypto. That was one facility that ClubSwan did not have. And there was also another one, which is $750,000, which was renamed aluminum. So you see, basic is the only plastic one, aluminum, stainless steel, gold plated, and solid gold. So they had different prices, but the services provided were basically the same, right? So if we were to compare side by side, apples to apples with ClubSwan, we would notice that there was no starter before. GSLifestyle provided a starter. And what ClubSwan called starter, GSLifestyle we now call plastic. The starter was $129, we would have had to pay $80. Subscription $35 a month, we would have had to pay $20 a month, right? So basically, under the contract with ClubSwan and GSLifestyle, we were able to get the same services at a lesser cost. Okay, the aluminum was $35 a month, stainless steel and gold plated were all $35 a month, which means for up to the 2 million e-wallet capacity, the 2 million wallet products, we were able to get them for $35 a month. Whereas with ClubSwan, you would have had to pay $65 or up to $95 a month, right? The other thing to notice is that the aluminum card in ClubSwan had cost $11.95, whereas the aluminum in GSLifestyle is $4.35. The stainless steel, which is unlimited, yes, in ClubSwan, had cost $24.95, but the stainless steel in GSLifestyle is $9.85. So basically, all in all, you would see that we had a benefit under the contract with GSPartners to get these services from ClubSwan, which was branded as GSLifestyle. So what had happened, right? Before going into what had happened, I had actually written a manual for persons to understand how to navigate the GSLifestyle platform. And I would state that this also applies to the ClubSwan platform because the back office is basically the same. Under the contract, what ClubSwan basically did is that they used a template for their services, made slight adjustments to the pages, and just replaced the ClubSwan logos with the GSLifestyle logo. and that was it. What we were using was the in GS Lifestyle was the ClubSwan platform all along. So it is not a new service we're going to, on it's not, it is the same service for people who have the GS Lifestyle product. It's the same service they have been using all along. It's ClubSwan, but it was basically contracted for the GS community to be GS Lifestyle, right? Now, on 16th of September, the community had issued this update. This came from corporate update channels about GS Lifestyle and GS Lifestyle Pro. Remember, it was called GS Lifestyle 2.0. It is now called Pro. That's the first time we heard the mention of GS Lifestyle Pro. The GS Lifestyle platform is going through a major update and upgrade to bring better service to more users in more countries and territories. This improved platform is made possible through a recent acquisition of a digital bank. Remember, this was promised all the way back in 2020. And the bank will be called, and the service will be called GS Lifestyle Pro. An improved platform and product is due to go live in the month of October. Well, it did not happen in the month of October because the transactions were still in process, right? So the date is to be announced later, okay? And all GS Lifestyle card holders will be issued a free GS Lifestyle Pro card. Everyone who has a GS Lifestyle card now will be issued a new GS Lifestyle Pro once the platform is live, all right? So this, again, this was stated before in the Mike's Tips and Tricks 130th webinar, right? So you can go back and review this if you wish. It's just that as we have more information, we're giving you more updates on this. This was the email that we got at the time from NVO, basically stating thanks for your continued support, right? Using our e-money accounts. There are positive changes coming your way. And this was where it was first mentioned to the community that the NVO CoinX, or by the way, NVO is international, but CoinX is the sister company of NVO. They're part of the same group of companies as they are e-money issuers for the United States of America. NVO provides the same service to the rest of the world. And ClubSwan is the service that provides the crypto wallets and the concierge services. So they both work together to provide the platform that we know as GS Lifestyle. And as stated here in the email in 16th of September, that they are no longer providing financial or other services to GSPartners and the Gold Standard Bank Group, right? With immediate effect. This is quite interesting that this was stated right after GSPartners had stated that, well, they had acquired a digital bank, right? So the thing is, as part of the contract, they knew that this was going to happen. It's just that they ended the contract a little bit earlier than maybe some people would have liked, right? Any questions concerning the services should be directed to support@ClubSwan. And this was stated back in September. We are currently in the month of November, right? And basically, it was stated again, ClubSwan and NVO services have been and continue to be exclusively limited to e-money, crypto, and concierge, right? So that's it. And basically, there were some updates that were stated, right? That those of us who have accounts, that everything runs the same. And I can attest to it because I had recently been to the company conference in London, and throughout my entire trip, wherever I went, the only card I used was my GS Lifestyle card, right? There's no change. You can still log in, you can still send crypto to it, you can still convert it to cash, all of that stuff. Concierge services, buy stuff from Amazon, all of that is still functioning, okay? You don't need to do anything. You can ongoing access to your card and so on. Well, the email, as I said, all of this was stated before. The key things that were stated is that the account will no longer be called GS Lifestyle. Instead, your account will be part of the ClubSwan brand. So it was stated that this was to come, okay? And for your continued loyalty, your monthly membership will be lowered to only $16 per month going forward. Now, it was not clear whether this was applicable only to the plastic card holders or if it was applicable to everyone. That is something we still have to clarify, right? But in full transparency, $16 per month under the contract is what GSPartners was paying to ClubSwan anyway. Because out of the $20 per month, remember, a portion of that was used to pay the uni-level plan, right? So for people who, when they heard that we were moving to ClubSwan, who knew what ClubSwan was, they had a concern. Oh no, if we're going to be migrating to ClubSwan, does that mean that our membership is going to increase to $35 a month? And the answer is no. Your monthly membership will be lowered to $16 a month, right? And of course, the crypto buy and sell fee is lowered to 1%. And if you don't have a card, you will be able to get a free virtual card in your account, which makes me wonder if this applied to persons who had the starter, the actual GSLifestyle starter. It'll be good to see if they can get a virtual card. And I think a member of the community had actually confirmed that he was able to do so now. He never paid for a card. He just paid the $10 to get the starter. And when he logged into his account, he was able to see, hey, add a virtual card. And this was cool. He just didn't add it because he wasn't sure if he did so, that if he will now be subject to the $16 a month. And this is one of the things, as I said, I'm not too sure. We have to get that clarified, okay? If you have not activated your card yet, your card activation will now be waived free. It will be free. There are persons who had ordered their GSLifestyle cards all the way back in 2021, and they never activated it. It just stayed there on the shelf. Well, persons will be able to activate it now for free, right? So this was, of course, shared in the 16th of September. And what was stated is that we will keep you informed and updated. It's just a courtesy notice. So it was not implemented. It was a notice that some of these changes will be coming, basically in terms of the reduction in fees and so on, right? And we will be back to you with further updates shortly. So based on that update, right, we would have noted that the sales of new GSLifestyle cards had been paused until the upgrades and integrations with GSPartners were completed. This would be, of course, integration of GSLifestyle Pro with the new digital bank. And as we know by now, while in London, the chairman of the board had confirmed that the bank is actually located in Dominica. And what is significant about Dominica, may have been the cause of some of the delay, is that Dominica had recently changed their legislation. They have declared that crypto, in particular, the Tron blockchain, is now legal tender. Persons can even pay their taxes with Tron in Dominica, but legislation still had to be finalized, and that may have contributed in part to the delay in the launch, because we were trying to get this for a couple of months ago, and that was actually launched in October, interestingly enough, in Dominica, right? So we have some of the legislative adjustments and so on, and the regulations, the regulators are always making some updates. And when you buy a bank, it's not like you obtain it today and you open the doors next week. There's different processes and procedures and tests. You're dealing with people's finances. You don't want to just launch a system into public and there are issues with it, right? So all of these things are happening. Integrations with other banks in the world is taking place. And when things are ready, it will be launched. And it was targeted for early 2023. We were not given any official date by corporate as yet, but we're working towards early 2023. But again, this is that's an update or enhancement to what was shared on the 16th of September, right? The pause on ordering new GSLifestyle cards will not impact those who already have their cards. So if you have cards already, and as persons would have realized by now, there's no restrictions to using. You can still log into GSLifestylecard.com or ClubSwan.com, and they can use the platform as per usual. Right? So this is not new information, as I said, 16th of September. Since GSPartners has no longer corporate contractual ties with ClubSwan, and all GSLifestyle members will now be migrated to ClubSwan, as indicated in the email. So members are asked to communicate with concierge and or support at clubswan.com to find out about the shipping status of their card. So corporate had basically said that all of the monies that they had received for cards when people went into the website and paid for a GSLifestyle card, those funds were actually forwarded to ClubSwan. There are some people in the community that at the time of that message, did not yet receive their cards. But GSPartners had already provided the funds to GSLifestyle, ClubSwan, and they had to send the mails. Now, there's some people who did not get it at the time. So as you would see, this was stated in 16th of September, that those who paid for the card but was unable to register for it to please contact me by Friday, the 23rd of September. That was extended actually later to the end of the month, so that I would be able to compile a list, and which is what I did. I compiled a list of people who had paid for cards and did not receive it, or had various issues with the cards, to forward to the chairman of the board, Sir Joseph Hyde, through Ms. Nita Narcos, right? So, so here's an update. 22nd of November, that's just 3 days ago. ClubSwan wrote us again. Remember, they said they will contact us shortly. We are excited to confirm that the migration process from GSLifestyle to ClubSwan is underway. They didn't say it's finished as yet, and will be completed within the next few weeks, I guess by the end of the year, right? You can now log in using your same credentials here. And if you were to click on that mail, you would get member.clubswan.com. When you go to member.clubswan.com, you will see an interface that is very similar to GSLifestylecard.com. And like I explained, that is the template that was used for GSLifestyle. It's just to change the graphics, but it's the same back office you'll be using. You go to member.clubswan.com, right? And note that your individual migration will be confirmed as complete when you see a change in your plan appearing in the About section of your dashboard. We will look into that very shortly. We would like to confirm that I'll put it here. We'd like to confirm that changes this will make, as previously stated on our last communication, and basically reiterating the same thing, right? This is a repeat of what was shared before, that the services, ClubSwan is no longer providing services to GSPartners. This is not any more new services. So any new person who wants to get a GSLifestyle card, they wouldn't be able to get it, and while we're in this transitionary period, okay? So basically this is repeating that information. And there are some other updates, well, basically the same thing that's basically repeated here. Our membership will be lowered to only $60 a month going forward, right? The crypto buy and sell fee is 1%. If you don't have a card, you'll get a free virtual card in your account. If you're not activated your card yet, your card activation will now be free, and so on, right? Basically, this is the same thing that has been communicated since the 16th of September. Some persons were simply not aware of it, but that is it. So basically, what is new? Stating that this is your new login portal, right? Transition is still in effect. Your updated terms and conditions will soon be available in the settings section of your ClubSwan portal. Welcome to ClubSwan. So you would notice at the bottom, copyright 2022, you are receiving this important account update from our support team because you are a registered user of GSLifestyle. Notice, or just want to bring to your attention, that GSLifestyle is not the only company that uses NVO to provide card services. There are other companies that also do so as well, right? So this is what they call a white label service, where they can provide a service, but they allow other companies to put their brand on it. And basically, this is it in the background. Now, one important thing about the number of countries that can be provided, and I said we were getting delivery in 169 countries. Those were the countries that NVO would be able to deliver to. With the new digital bank, according to Mr. Hyde, right? Cards will now be able to be delivered to any country that is not under an embargo. Some countries like Afghanistan and other things are not considered totally free, but once it's in the free world, you'll be able to get a card. With NVO, there were some countries we could not deliver to, Turks and Caicos Islands, our neighbor from Trinidad and Tobago, that's Grenada, and a couple of countries were not able to get cards. But with the launch of the new digital bank in Dominica, we'll be able to get access to cards in even more countries, right? So with this transition, what happens? We will call GSLifestyle, but we're going to be ClubSwan now. Are we going to go to the $35 a month for the plastic. No, it's going to go down actually from 20 a month to 16 per month, right? What about the starter? I'm not too sure. One of my team members, I had been asking some of my team members what starter accounts to go in and validate this for me, right? And one person actually did. He had logged into his account and he was able to see that in his starter account, he had access to a virtual card. Well, I explained that just now, but he just didn't activate it as yet. He also saw that he was able to add multiple accounts, multiple currency accounts, US dollar, British pound, the euro, Chinese yuan. But again, he did not activate it at the time of asking, but he was going to try, right? So apparently it was something other under development. Someone else had went and tried and they didn't see that option. So that may have been an intermittent bug. So basically this is where we are right now. We have a system where people who bought a GSLifestyle card that during the contract period, we still have it under contract for the next 5 years, right? You can still continue to use it, load, swipe, you know, everything that you were doing before. There's nothing changed there. The only thing that's changed is the fact that the name is going to be changing from GSLifestyle to ClubSwan, right? And the GSLifestyle, the brand, will be issued by the new digital bank, right? So basically that is the update there. And for persons who may want to say, okay, well, what's so different? Well, let's take a quick look, right? Shall we? Let me go to my GSLifestyle account. And then I'm going to go to ClubSwan account. Notice this is the login page for ClubSwan. And it's going to come up soon. Some people have been complaining that it's been taking a little while for the GSLifestyle page to come up. But if you notice the GSLifestyle login page, which is gslifestylecard.com, it is still working, right? You can go log in your email address, right? As usual, right? Put in your password, as per usual, right? Come on. Okay. And then you have to put in your 2FA. Let's see if you're doing it with ClubSwan. You go to member.clubswan.com, put in your email address. It's the same one you were using in GSLifestyle, right? Put in your password. Again, the same one you were using in GSLifestyle because it's basically, it is the same account, right? Come on. Right, put in this one, right? And it's asking for 2FA. Now, let me see if I can time this to illustrate, right? Both GSLifestyle and ClubSwan are asking for the 2FA. And let me go to the authenticator, right? And I can see that, let me wait until it changes here. It's about to change. I'm going to enter the same 2FA in both to illustrate that it's the same GSLifestyle 2FA you've been using all along. And the number that I have is now 888622, right? Let's do it here again. 888622. And I can see that I have my GSLifestyle dashboard. And on this side, I have my ClubSwan dashboard. And you will see that the structure in both is exactly, or not exactly, but they're practically the same, okay? You have the cards, dashboard, cards, accounts, crypto, travel, concierge, instant rewards. And in ClubSwan, you have dashboard, cards, accounts, crypto, travel, concierge, referrals, shopping, and instant reward. Oh, there's something called referrals. And on the right, you would see for GSLifestyle, you would see I have GSL Plastic. And in ClubSwan, you would see that my card I have is GSL Plastic. So the name of the card we have is really customized, even though we have a ClubSwan account. So we don't have like the Premier and Executive and all that. The name of the cards we have is the same because it's the same card. The display that we have, this one has US dollar. This is the US dollar account. This is the US dollar account. It's exactly the same. I don't have any problem showing it because all you can do with that number is to send money to the account, which is fine. You can go ahead, send money to, right? The number of the card, which is the digital access to the card, is the same, right? The balances, it is the same thing because, as I said, it's just like another window to the same house, right? Or another door to the same room. One door is called ClubSwan, one door is called GSLifestyle card.com, but it's the same. What is different? There's a referral link. What does this referral link do? I thought we cannot buy any new cards. Well, you can, because as a ClubSwan member, you can refer ClubSwan, sorry, to someone else. But what are you going to be referring them to? You're going to be referring them to the standard ClubSwan service, where they would have to pay $125 for a card and $35 a month for the plastic and so on. This would be, you would basically be referring the higher of where they are. When you go to clubswan.com, you can scroll down and you can see what are the card offerings. So persons who really want to get a card, this is what they'll be paying for. And as one who refers, you'll get a little commission on that. But the cards, the monthly fees would be a little bit higher than it was in GSPartners, because these new people will be joining outside of any GSPartners contract, right? And you would again remember, as was promised, everybody who currently has a who did receive a card under the GSLifestyle contract with ClubSwan will be getting a new one when the digital bank is launched, right? So that is basically what that means. You can refer people to get a ClubSwan card, and if they are willing to pay the higher fees, well, that is really their decision. We're not giving any financial advice. I'm just giving you information and awareness and transparency as to what is going on here, all right? So aside from that referral sign, if you click on referrals in ClubSwan, you can see if anybody registered. Of course, I don't have any referrals. And if you want to get the link, you can also get it right here as well. And you can also just use KNALJ610 if they want to register. You don't have to use mine. You may be able to get access to yours, but it's totally up to you. And also, even after the digital bank is launched, remember, under the contract we have, we can continue to use our GSLifestyle, our service with ClubSwan for the next 5 years. Many of us have the cards maybe a year already, a year and a half. And we can continue to use it until it's expired and continue to pay the $16 a month special fee if we wish. But what we're getting from the GSL Pro or from the GS Pro Bank, the fees we understand may be even less. So the choice will really be yours. We're not going to say what to do. It is really up to the individual. But everybody who has GSLifestyle will still get the other card for free, right? So that is basically that. The comparisons with everything else is really the same, between GSLifestyle and the ClubSwan. Even if you were to look at if you were to click on crypto and look at the wallet addresses, let me take a look at the Bitcoin Cash address, for example. You would see, I didn't generate a receive address for that one. So let me go to the Bitcoin, for example, 3EKMY ending with UAZB. If I go to GSLifestyle and I go to crypto and I go to Bitcoin, I would see 3EKMY ending with UAZB. It's exactly the same. It's just another door to the same room, right? Whether you go in ClubSwan or GSLifestyle. But what we're being told is that eventually our main portal will be member.clubswan.com, right? So there's no learning curve at all. You can start using the new portal quickly. If people are trying to log into GSLifestylecard.com and seeing a blank screen, they can instead go to member.clubswan.com and use the same services, right? As you can see there, right? Persons who want to get a virtual card, you can click on cards and you will see there's an option for virtual cards and even add virtual card, right? Do you see that in ClubSwan? Let's see, cards and virtual cards and add virtual card. There you go, add a virtual card. To create another virtual card, you'll need to pay a small amount using your credit or debit card, and that amount is $3. And then you can choose whether you want to pay that from your account or from your e-wallet or your MasterCard, as the case may be. So pay $3 and you get a virtual card. Isn't that cool? Ain't that something? And I actually have a virtual card as well, which as you can see right here, right? So I can use one card for online purchases. People say, why do you want to have more than one card? Well, one card could be done for online purchases, the Amazon and the Netflix and stuff, and the other card could be used for physical purchases. So people may have their reasons for doing so. What about the accounts? Well, I come to accounts, and I am not personally seeing an option to add additional like euro and all them other things, because I think that may be a limitation of the account that I do have personally. So that is a quick, settings. If I were to go to settings to see what my monthly subscription is, I will see that my next billing amount is $20 on the 11th of December, which means that the migration has not fully been completed. So I'm not going to be paying $16 a month as yet, right? So then, and that again, you go to settings, and you can do the same thing in GSLifestyle. You go to settings, and you can see when your next billing amount is, right? So that would be that as far as that comparison is concerned. So what is the latest? First, I want to give you a quick update from GS Caribbean. This is the community that we have. And I had a little surprise for Mr. Marlon Modest, which I presented to him last night.
So I am here at the home of Mr. Marlon Modest, who has been doing an awesome work in providing communications to the GS community. And I have a little token of appreciation here that he doesn't know it as yet, but he's coming to the phone. And Mr. Modest is here tonight, and I want to say good night, Marlon, and I want to thank you again. I just want to present to you a little token of appreciation for all the work that you do in providing communication to the community as essentially a chief marketing officer. And this is the first print of our new line of polos, GS Caribbean dry fit embroidered polo t-shirts.
Flick boy, Marlon.
So
bring it on. Bring it on. It's like Brazil game, yes? Bring it on. Bring it on.
Note that I don't even have one for myself as yet. Because this was from a sample, and I just thought it fitting that the first one be presented to you.
I'm saying, my fit. Gosh. Now I feel like exercising. Bring it on.
Yes. GS Caribbean polo shirts, dry fit, embroidered. Available in sizes small, medium, large, extra large, double X, triple XL. We have a small sample, a small set. You can start to place your orders if you're interested in getting them, right? Due to the cost of getting the t-shirts and the embroidery and everything, those will be available at $150 for one. And as we're getting close to the end of the year, you can start to budget for that if you're interested in getting one, because we do have some public events coming up, and it'll be cool just to have one of those. And maybe even helpful if you like the products and you want to be able to have a talking point to share with others, right? So $150, you can start to place your orders now. Okay. So I'm just going to wrap up before we go into our question and answer section, right? And I saw some questions in the chat, which will be answered very shortly. The incentives and promotions that we have, we still have a few days ending on the 1st of December. With the same certificates that I mentioned earlier, we have an incentive now where persons who obtain 3 certificates can get 1 for free, right? So if you, as a buyer, want to purchase these certificates of any kind, you will get a match of the highest value certificate for free. And if you, as a seller, if you know of other people or you share, that they are interested in getting 3 certificates. So if you, for every 3 certificates that persons buy in your team, your direct team, you will get 1 for free. Here's a little enhancement to that. This is a new member bonus. If you are a new member and you purchase 3 certificates, you will get a match on 2 of the highest certificate that you purchased. And if you are a seller, if you help to sell 3 certificates, whether to the same persons or to multiple people, once they're in your direct line, you refer 3 certificates to new frontline or new direct team members, you will get 2 certificates for free as well. And this is continuing until the 1st of December. Today's the 25th, so we basically have 6 days again for this incentive, right? And as we're getting closer to the end of the month, there's some people who have actually been wrapping up some volumes in their teams for the basically the infinity ranks, as we call them, right? Persons who achieve the rank of director by the end of the month. Because of the volume in the pools, for persons who don't know, GSPartners has one of the additional streams of income. There's additional pools where this is containing a portion of sales from all international sales go into this pool, and persons who reach directors will get a share from that pool without anybody individually having to put anything more out of their pocket to fill a pool, right? So persons who earn the rank of director for this month, getting $1,000. I remember in the early days when persons would hit the rank of director, they were getting equivalent to $200 in value. Now a director is getting over $1,000 in value. Isn't that amazing? Regional director, $1,365. National director, if you're a national director by the end of the month, you're going to earn equivalent to $2,000 US. This is in addition to whatever commissions that you earn from normal sales anyway, right? These figures don't include G999, Lydian Lion, Lydian State, and XLT values, which will also be added as well. Persons who earn the rank of executive, 6,000, going all the way up, right? This is really, really cool. In addition to that, there is another incentive where persons who get the ranks and get the earnings, they also get certificates for free as well, simply for ranking, right? And this infinity pool stays out in 6 days. So once you get your next rank, you can get your director, executive, or ambassador ranks. And if you beat your November, the middle of the month rank, at the end of the year, you will get another free certificate as well. This is really awesome. And who made an achievement so far? One of the first persons to make this achievement is actually Mr. Marlon Thorne. Mr. Marlon Thorne, by the middle of the month, had hit the rank of director. And he has also achieved regional director as of last night, which means he is on track to get one of those additional certificates at the end of the month, right? And so that would basically be the main update for the tips and tricks for this week. And I know that there's some persons who may have questions, comments, and need clarifications. And one of the first questions I see in the chat group is, will we ever get the option to top up our accounts with debit or credit cards? And as has been repeated multiple on the various sessions, the decision on topping up with debit and credit cards is not one that the company makes. That is one that is the regulator's decision to make, right? And the same regulators that have stopped this facility in many countries around the world, Trinidad and Tobago included, Jamaica, even the Bahamas, and all the way as far as New Zealand. Persons who, they go to websites and they try to make purchases with their credit cards are unable to do so when they're doing so with a company that is linked to crypto. Now, that being said, one of the advantages of having a digital bank, right, based in Dominica, particularly for those of us in the region, is that, hey, it's a bank. It's a local bank. It's a regional bank that they would be dealing with. They're fully regulated. They'll be dealing with the EC. It's EC Caribbean, I think it is, in Dominica, and they're also fully regulated for crypto. So we can transfer funds to Dominica and purchase it. Now, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm just saying that in normal wake of things, there are people who have family in Dominica and they do send funds back and forth to their accounts in Dominica. So we will find a way to make it happen. Boom, there we go, right? So let's just stay tuned and see what are the options coming with Dominica. Are there any other persons with any questions or comments that you want to raise right now?
Hello, good night.
Hey, good night, Kevin.
Yeah, Mike. My question is, I was seeing that someone was saying something that they saw option in their back office in the GS Lifestyle back office. Mark Other. I don't know.
Mark
I
Other.
not seeing that in my back office. So
Other.
I was wanting to know. Yeah. Somebody post that up on the one of the chats.
Oh, okay. All right. Now I know that ClubSwan, and I did not mention that, so thanks for mentioning that. Right. With ClubSwan, you also have access to an app. If you were to search at your Google Play Store and possibly in the Apple Store as well, you would find ClubSwan. And when you put ClubSwan in, you'll be able to log into your account. And how the app is designed, I mean, this would be a lot of information to put on the home screen. But you will see dashboard, you will see cards, you will see accounts, and then you will see other. And when you click on other, you get access to all of this other stuff. All right, I don't know if that is what is being referred to, but that is what I observe with the ClubSwan application. And note that there are some persons who don't even use a desktop computer like I'm using here right now. Some people just use their accounts from their phones. So it's possible that the other they saw was that when you hit other, and again, it's easy for people to know. If they say, what does other mean? It's very simple. Click on other and see what it says, and that's all. Right?
Okay. What another thing is that is they said I got a email from ClubSwan stating that when you see in the when the migration is completed, when you're going to your back office and you see the setup different.
Right.
Is it okay now to allow tell people about joining that aspect of GSPartners? Or we still have to wait, better to wait and see until the cards come out fully?
To what aspect of GSPartners? What do you mean?
Well, helping them set up that aspect of it.
All right.
To get the cards.
No, all right. So what I would say for people who want to get a card, there is no relationship. I'll repeat again. There's zero relationship between GSPartners and ClubSwan. There's none. Okay. Persons who want to get a debit card through GSPartners will get it when the digital bank is launched in Dominica. That's it. Okay. There is no more sales of GS Lifestyle. GS Lifestyle contract with GSPartners is only existent for persons who obtained cards during that period of time when they were contracted. Like I bought a card, you bought a card when that contract was active. But if a new person comes out now and they want to buy a GS Lifestyle card, there is no contract between GSPartners and ClubSwan. That's what the update was basically explaining. Okay. If people want to get a ClubSwan card, because we will now be ClubSwan members, they will have to pay ClubSwan prices because they will not be getting that under the GS Lifestyle contract. You see, that contract is ended. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
I would tell new persons, listen, register for a GSPartners account. So when the digital bank is ready, our community will be able to sign up with accounts there, and we'll be able to get our updated card. So that's how we can prepare ourselves from now, by signing up for a GSPartners account.
Right. So you just had to wait until the bank and thing ready first.
Correct.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Okay, thank you. And I see Marcia Francis asking a question. Does ClubSwan have a starter account? As I shared the screen, ClubSwan does not have a starter account, right? The starter account is one that came in, right? There's no starter account for ClubSwan. The starter account concept in terms of a free account is only for those who got it under the GSLifestyle, the contract with GSPartners. There is an account called Starter for ClubSwan, but that is what we call basic, right? That is the starter account where the cost of the card is $129 and the subscriptions are $35 a month, right? So is this the starter account you're referring to, Marcia, or are you thinking of the starter account which has no monthly subscription?
It was a general question because I wasn't too sure what they have. Fishing, no, I'm just fishing and trying to see what is available in the
All right.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah, good night. Right. So again, for persons who were to click on your referral link in GSLifestyle, in ClubSwan, and you give somebody who wants a GSLifestyle account, this is what they're going to have to be paying. Again, right? It's they're going to be paying $129 for the plastic card, right? And they will be paying $35 a month. And that'll be a card that has you can save up to $500,000 account limit. Or there's the other plastic card which is Premier, which is $500 for the card, and then you pay a monthly subscription of $65. Yeah. Lawrence Hercules, you have a question?
Yes, good night, everyone.
Good night and welcome to the call.
Thanks so much. Michael, you mentioned about the bank, that the bank will be it's regulated.
Yes.
And with services, just providing services just as an ordinary bank, right?
Correct.
Okay, so what about joint account and that sort of stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Will you be able to get joint account so that, let's say, your wife could have a card?
Mm-hmm. If it is a regular account, right, they would be able to give those guidelines and stuff when the bank is open. It's not open as yet, so I can't speak for the bank. I don't know. I'm just giving information that it is coming. When it's coming, all of that information will be available.
Okay, because I was wondering, just like how if I want to have like a GS partner, let's say the gold or the whatever card,
yeah.
If it's possible, my wife could have a card too.
That's and that's a very good question. It'll be one that many of us would like to know. I mean, I would like to have like my son or daughter included as well. But when we get more information on the launching of the bank, we will be able to know for sure.
Okay, then. Thanks so much.
You're most welcome. All right. Any other questions? Hey, Jared, how are you? Hey, Jared. Yes.
Yeah, good night, Michael and everybody.
Hi, good night.
Just quickly, in regards to the to renewing of the or replacing the old GSLifestyle card,
Mm-hmm.
and comparing the ClubSwan, in regards, what are the restrictions in regards to countries and states and things?
Okay, so
is ClubSwan the same restrictions on GSLifestyle?
Yes, because those of us who have GSLifestyle accounts, we essentially have a ClubSwan account that was branded as GSLifestyle. That is, if we got the card between the 2nd of February 2021 and August of 2022, what we call the GSLifestyle brand is really provided by ClubSwan. So the number of countries that those cards will be available to ship to is limited to what ClubSwan and Coinex can ship to. With the new bank in Dominica, the chairman has said that cards will be available to any country that is not under embargo, which means that where countries where that ClubSwan did not ship to for whatever reason, countries that were not under embargo, ClubSwan did not ship to them, the GS Pro Bank will be able to ship to those countries and or states.
Okay.
Right? That is the promise that was given by the chair.
Okay. So I guess when the time comes to renew the card, the GSLifestyle card, or when it's time to switch over to the ClubSwan.
Yeah, we are already on ClubSwan. Just saying, those of us who have GSLifestyle cards are already on ClubSwan. It is basically, there was a door called GSLifestyle because we paid for that service, right? That is the GS community. But we already have ClubSwan accounts. It's just that our interface will now be moving over to use that. Okay, so we're already on that. The GS Pro cards, which will be issued early 2023, once the Dominica Bank comes active, will then be able to be shipped to the new countries. But the cards that we have now, remember, when we get them, they'll be valid for 5 years, right? So my card, for example, is expiring in 2027. Okay, I can continue to use, it's up to me if I want to continue to use my ClubSwan service for that time, because I'm already a ClubSwan subscriber. I have been for 1.5 years, right? Because my subscription is being paid to ClubSwan, not to GSPartners. Right. So yeah, so when that time is renewed, comes up, even if I get a card from, and when I get a card from GS Pro, I will still have my GSLifestyle account with ClubSwan because that's what I'm paying a subscription to. So it's two different legal entities. So it's possible for me to get two cards from two sources. Okay, that's as far as I understand it. Does that clarify?
Yes, Marlon. Michael, thanks so much.
No problem. They call us the 3 M's. What can we say? And all right. Okay. Thank you, Jared. And Mr. Jason Gordon. Welcome to the call, Jason.
Yeah. I just want to make a comment. Yeah, I just want to commend you on your consistency. Huh? Consistency is a tremendous benefit, especially for business. Huh? It's very hard to build on a shifting foundation. Huh? And I have found that you have provided a stable foundation that you could establish a business or entrepreneurial ventures. So I just want to commend you on that because I'm getting quite a bit of success in terms of setting up for digital payments and so on. And the mere fact that you keep educating the market, and it might be the same thing over and over, but it's important. Because
repetition is key.
Yeah. Because can you imagine that if you go to the grocery and the grocery doesn't open at 8 o'clock, sometimes it opens at 9, sometimes it opens at 12, sometimes it doesn't open at all. You can't do anything. So the mere fact that you are consistent, it means then that I could do my business plans, catering for your facilities, your environment. So that information with the Dominica, the digital bank is very, very, very important. And what I'm seeing is that monitoring the trends from 2008 to now, we really have to learn our lessons from 2008.
Yes, that's right.
Similar trends now. But because if we have really accepted our learnings from 2008, we don't have to make the same mistakes, and we will be better prepared for whatever economic shocks that come, And if you see the tech companies already started their layoffs, and and there are some other things that are going on. I can't mention it over the air, but this is happening globally. But the thing is that we need to be wise. And if we could link our businesses to this crypto platform, we will be
absolutely
better served, because the banks are self-serving, and they only benefit themselves. During the recessionary times, good times, bad times, pandemic, no pandemic, banks making a whole lot of profit. And what about the small man, yeah? And if you find that even the state enterprises are laying off, who is creating opportunities for the ordinary person? So when you steadfastly, stable, do your thing every week, you know, in season, out of season, it creates an environment that people could literally build their business and build their business projects. So I just want to commend you. No more questions. I appreciate your consistency, and it's an encouragement for me to be consistent, you know, in the platform. Okay.
Your comments much appreciated, Jason, and thanks for raising up the advancements that are happening in the region. Because what was not actually one of the things I was going to share on this evening, which I basically set out before that because of the timeliness of this GSL information that people needed to know, was that person, do you know that St. Kitts is moving towards having Bitcoin Cash as their national currency?
Wow.
As legal tender, just as how Dominica is having Tron as their legal tender. It's already passed. The St. Kitts is moving into that direction as well. And then we have other updates on other countries as well that I was going to share, but I'll leave that for another time. But basically, things are moving, and we need to be in the loop. We need to be plugged in with what is happening and be prepared, which is what, as Mr. Hercules and others are saying, and even Kevin, for persons who want to participate and even to have a link, people know what Dominica's declared crypto legal. How do I participate in that? Position by getting a GSPartners account from now. So when we will have access to a bank in Dominica. How cool will that be? Yeah, it will be really cool. Right. So thanks very much for those comments, Jason. And I see some other comments in the chat. My account in ClubSwan is ClubSwan G1. Right. So we don't know what the status G1 is. That may have been a free account. I think that is what what would have been the GSLifestyle starter. ClubSwan is now called ClubSwan G1 because they have a starter account too. Right? Maybe that is it. Okay, so I would like some information. This is from Morton Mitchell. I would like some more information on GSPartners and its possibilities as an income generator, possibly outside of the meeting. For example, how is Metaverse useful and beneficial? All right. So quick question, and maybe I can ask anybody else in the chat. At the start of the session, I did mention a place that persons can go to get information about GSPartners. What is the website, folks? Who can type it in the chat?
Standardwebinar.com.
Thank you for typing that in the chat, Curtis. Much appreciated. Goldstandardwebinar.com. And one of the neat things, and again, thank you, Morton, for asking that question, and even Jason earlier, is that when you go through that presentation, one will find that the platform that we have, something called our implementation of the Metaverse, the Lydian World. And currently, that Lydian World is a Metaverse platform that is linking with other projects. The first main project or partner is, of course, BD Swiss, which is providing the Metaverse certificates and the passive income and a lot of the things that we all need, cash flow. But that's not the only company that is linking with the Lydian World. We had another company that's providing products, supplements, right? Alpha Lion, supplements for men and women and so forth. It's going to be available in the Lydian World. It's basically it's going to be like a mall in the Metaverse, right? A mall in the Metaverse, right? You have the access to the digital bank through the Lydian World. Do you know, for example, if you were to enter Gulf City Mall, right, or a mall in the Caribbean, anywhere, do you know that that you have banks inside of a mall? Are the malls regulated in terms of are the malls regulated to operate a bank? No, but they have a spot that is rented, and it is the bank that's operating in that space that does all the regulations and everything there. So if you want to have like a access to a bank, you go to a mall and boom, you have access to the mall, to the bank services and access to other services while you're inside there. And that is why there are other projects that say, hey, this is a cool thing. And I have been actually working with some other people, and I've seen other projects that are reaching out to Mr. Hyde, reaching out to the Lydian world, to the GSPartners community, to link their projects. So we are not competition. We can actually be co-opetition, if you want to call it that. We can help people. There are people in other projects that are earning crypto, and they want to be able to cash out their crypto. And that's where the cards come in. So it's really, really a neat stuff. So yes, Morton, we can speak one-on-one, and we can go even more into what is available in GSPartners, right? And that's it's just a taste of where the metaverse is useful. Okay. So anyone else? Questions, clarifications, comments? Jason is back. Yes.
Yeah. I just want to let the community know that there are facilities available within our community, and we need to become aware of these things, because if you look what happened to the Ukraine, I'm not saying that will happen to any other country, but things could change rapidly overnight, and we don't know what is coming. But if we can prepare ourselves, so whatever comes, we should prepare ourselves to be able to meet the challenges. Even now, if somebody wants to buy a vehicle, you can buy a vehicle for crypto. There are people in the communities who are registered, okay, with the FIU, and you will not get blanked like what the banks will do. You know, you'll be facilitated. You wouldn't be presented as a criminal. But we have resources within inside the community that we need to start making use of, you know. Anything you see anywhere in the world right now, and you want to buy it for crypto, we can arrange it. If you want to buy a Benz or BMW, whatever, once you have the crypto, there are people within the community, totally legitimate, no bad actors, okay? And there are things that can be done, huh? So I just want people to be aware of that. Huh? That's my contribution.
Thank you very much, Jason. And of course, we're going to continue to collaborate on that note. Right, to help people, to help increase awareness and education. All right. Any other comments, questions? I know this. Has this information been helpful? I believe it is.
Yes, it is.
Kevin?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, wonderful. Thank you. Okay, so one new message again, and look forward to the recording, Mr. Glasgow. And I think that should wrap it up for the evening. Okay, so I want to thank everybody for coming on the call tonight. Right, I will work on getting this out as quickly as I could over the weekend, and for additional information over the weekend, I want to and into next week in terms of what's next. I want to encourage persons as we talk about achieving the ranks of directors and so on. Once you do hit those ranks, not only do you get an additional. Oh, Lawrence, do you have anything other to ask? Comment? Oh
no, sorry.
All right, that's no problem. Yeah, one of the things you do get access to by achieving a certain rank is you'll also get access to additional information from leaders in the field, where you can be added. You'll be added to a group where you can be invited to some special webinars where you can get some information in advance that you can help to share with your community. Because for you to achieve certain milestones, it means that you would have had a couple of members in your team, and this will help you to be a leader, to help share information with others. It is a poor thing in the community, and I really have a distaste for it when persons register other people in a business and they just abandon them, and they don't put them into any update groups for people to get in any information, and they don't forward any information to them either, right? It's important for anybody who is registered to be plugged into a platform to get updates. So even if anything happens to you, you're not interested anymore, you even pass on, the people who you register will still be able to get access to the information. So I encourage you, when you register persons, plug them in, and when you access leadership calls, you get information you can also share with others as well, right? I want to acknowledge Mr. Marlon Modest, Mr. Marlon Thorne, Mr. Alan Ashley for his team, who have been formally or have hit these achievements as well and have been working very, very hard to pass on that information. But I want to encourage anyone, even if you don't hit a rank, to do that, because it gives the industry a bad name when you register persons and then you just walk away without telling anybody anything and you leave them hanging, right? So, and speaking of that, if you would like to know a free marketing system, if you'd like to know how do I build a team, how to achieve these milestones and so on, there's a training taking place on a marketing system tomorrow, Saturday, at noon Eastern time, which is actually 1 p.m. in Atlantic Standard Time, but 12 noon at Eastern Standard Time, at the Zoom link live.teamblockstars.com. No password needed. You just go to live.teamblockstars.com and then you will get access to a free marketing system that will take some of the pressure off of you. How do I talk to people? What do I say? This is a system that can do a lot of that work for you, so that the people who come to you will be people who simply want more without you having to generate it. So let's see what that marketing system is all about. Tomorrow, Saturday, the 26th of November, at 1 p.m. Atlantic time, noon Eastern. And coming soon, Christmas social event. Mark your calendars. We are looking at December the 18th, which is a Sunday afternoon, right? Stay tuned, coming soon. And remember to place your orders for those polos if you're interested, right? For other, we have other training and weekly events coming soon, right? So stay tuned, right? So thanks very much for coming on the call tonight. Have a fantastic weekend.